Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Yenisbel Hernandez and we're recording a Zoom about task list F. We're doing mock questions and a little bit of teaching, okay? So we already went over this one, and the key thing is backup reinforcers. They actually need to be reinforcers. So question, I already wrote it here, but the tokens are what? Generalized condition reinforcers. Why are tokens generalized condition reinforcers?
Because you can pair with almost anything.
Exactly. Can you give me an example of a generalized condition reinforcer? It's
Money.
Money. And the other one is, it starts with a P.
Praise.
Praise, which is why I do it a lot, because it's free. It's free, and I know everybody likes it. So great job, guys. Woohoo! You're doing awesome. Okay, here's the next question. How are to start implementing AFCT? The first thing he needs to do is assess the blank of the challenging behavior, antecedent function, condition, or SD.
B.
Function.
B as in boy.
B.
Function. Yeah, B.
I hear a lot of B. Why? Why B?
Well, if you don't know what's the function of the behavior, how can you start trying to teach it if you need to increase or decrease the behavior?
Exactly. So and plus it's functional communication. So the word says it, right? Just in case you have a problem remembering, it's functional communication. So we need to find the actual function of the behavior to actually teach him the correct word. Okay, so the term originated by Skinner that refers to the employment of behavior analytic interventions to the behavior of oneself. Is it self-management, self-control, self-monitoring, or radical behaviorism?
Self-management.
I have one for B.
I think I read it. I think it's B.
One for B. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody said self-management, which is A, and another person said B. Anybody else?
Two people said A.
Two people said
I think B.
and another B. Who wants to break the tie?
I think it's B too.
B. B.
A.
And another A. We have another tie? Let's see. Let's see what it is. It's self-control. I just memorized that one basically because that's what I read. It's not self-management, that's the newest word. The self-control is the one that he invented, he created, he originated. Okay, radical behavior.
Hold on. Yeah. So how do we differentiate self-management versus self-control?
They're from what I can remember in the book, they're very similar. They're very similar. The only difference is that self-control is more like the one back in Skinner's time, and now the more modern one would be self-management. But double check that with the book. I do know for sure that he's the one.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at my note. I have self-management, # self-control.
Exactly. Yeah. So the one, if it comes out in the test, is remember that he's the one who originated it.
So they're basically the same thing, but one was worded by him and it was then modified to self-management.
It's, you know how language changes, you know, and you know, through time. So I think that's what happened here.
Okay, thank you.
Another thing that was originated by him is, like we know, is radical behaviorism. Who wants to say a little bit about it just because we have it here?
Radical behaviorism believes in both private behavior, while The other, which one is the other one?
It's Watson. Had it.
Watson.
Methodo-
Watson only believes in public behaviors, while radical behaviorism believes also not only private but public behavior.
Yes, correct. Anybody else? Or are we good with that?
Are we good?
Okay, so look at the bottom, I made the note. Self-control is an AKA for self-management. There we go. Okay, so when I was studying, I remember I would continue to get confused with all of this self-monitoring, self-control, self-recording, self-assessment, self-management, self-observation, self-evaluation, blah, 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 blah.
That's my struggle.
Yeah, so we're gonna tackle it today. So basically, there are a bunch of them are AKAs, but there are three main differences. One is a procedure in which a person observes his behavior systematically and records occurrence of the behavior. So which one do you think is the one that the person observes his behavior and records the occurrence of it?
That's self-monitoring.
So, okay, let me write it down because so you think it's self-monitoring?
Isn't self-monitoring the one you record?
Self-monitoring
is not happening.
Self-monitoring, you record the occurrence and non-occurrence of behavior. I meant to ask, did you mean to leave non-occurrence
Non-occurring,
out?
exactly.
I wrote it a while back. Maybe I might have left it out.
Yeah, because self-monitoring said it's self-recording and self-observation, a procedure whereby a person observes his behavior systematically and record the occurrence and non-occurrence of target behavior.
Okay, so we're gonna add that to the
right, because that made me something else.
Occurrence and non-occurrence. But basically, I want you to focus on three main definitions. Let's say. So the first one, I already read it. The second one, I'm going to read it so we can have it in our brains and then we can differentiate them. Comparison of an individual's performance by himself with a predetermined criterion. And the other one is employment of behavior analytic interventions to the behavior of oneself. So the first one, who wants to tell me which one you think goes with procedure in which a person observes his behavior systematically and records occurrence and non-occurrence of behavior?
What was it? I'm sorry. Which one?
You said, I think one of you said that one goes with self-monitoring.
Self-monitoring.
So the second one is self-evaluation, comparison of an individual performance by himself with a predetermined criterion, self-evaluation.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to read that.
It's okay. We're here to learn it. Okay. Anybody else wants to participate? If not, I'll just start giving you answers. Okay, who wants to volunteer one of the ones that will go with employment of behavior analytic interventions to the behavior of oneself? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. So self-monitoring, you were right. And then self-recording is the observation of his behavior and recording. So that would make sense. And the other one is self-observation. If you think about it, you know, the words are in the definition. So if it helps you understand it better and memorize it for the test. So here, self-observation, it says observe. Self-recording, it says record. And self-monitoring, we know self-monitoring, you're monitoring your behavior. So this one is self-assessment, self-evaluation. So anything that has to do with evaluation or an assessment is the comparison of an individual's performance by himself with a predetermined criterion. And then the last one is self-control. The last one is tricky, right? And self-management. Self-control and self-management. I think this is one of those things that you need to review over and over again to memorize. So, who wants to say procedure in which a person observes his behavior systematically and records occurrence of behavior? Which one goes there? Let's go. Fluency.
Self-recording.
Self-monitoring.
Self-observation.
Self-observation.
Ah, my goodness. Awesome, guys. Comparison of individual's performance by himself with the predetermined criterion. Which one is that one?
Self-evaluating.
Self-assessment.
Nice. I think the trick that we used helped. Employment of behavior analytic interventions to the behavior of oneself.
Self-control.
Control.
Self-management.
Okay. Awesome. Nice job, guys. Okay. Emily is conducting therapy with her client. The client sees a butterfly outside the window and says, boo-boo. Emily then prompts her client to tact it as butterfly. Emily is using what? In situ training, naturalistic training, non-intensive teaching, incidental teaching, or all of the above?
All of the above.
All of the above.
E as an elephant.
AKAs.
Wow, that was fast. Somebody has been studying their AKA. Say
NC2, in the moment.
in the moment.
In situation. In the situation.
Oh, that's true. In situation. The first time I read it, I was like, what?
I know. I was like, huh? Like, oh, in
Putting
situation.
another language in there. Okay. Which of the following are augmentative communication methods? Touching, signing, exchanging a picture, or all of the above?
C.
All of the above. D.
Wow. One
B.
for C, one for D.
Hold
I
on.
say
Changing a
B as
picture of the
B
same
as in
as
boy.
picture exchange?
Yeah. I said C.
I say B.
C.
B. Who said all of the above?
I think it's B.
But how can touching be augmentative?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say D, but it's
Nice job, Minerva. You got it right.
How? How can touching be one of them? I can see signing, exchange a picture.
I think it's
but
touching.
Well, to tell the truth, I looked it over a little bit before, and I couldn't find anything more than just that. But I was thinking, how some people are blind and deaf, and their
Braille?
communication is,
Oh.
that's what I was thinking, and exchanging the
Okay.
is the PECS system.
Oh.
And with C, you don't have to put like picture exchange, or it could be.
That's
exchange.
what the book has. It's changing
Oh,
a picture. Because picture exchange, it's not necessarily PECS. You can do it without being PECS because, PECS has a specific set of criteria that you need to do. You need 2 therapists. If you don't have that, then it's not PECS. You can just use them to exchange.
So either or is fine.
Either or what?
Picture exchange or exchanging a picture. Both of them are okay.
I guess in this case, exchanging a picture is the generic term, and the PECS is like,
it's one of the ways that you can exchange a picture.
Yeah, it's just that in mocks, I've had picture exchange communication system like actually written out.
That's PECS, right?
Right. And that's been the answer, or all of the above. Like they'll say sign language, blah, 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 all of that.
Right. I guess now we're learning that touching and sign language is part of the augmentative. I always thought of it's something extra, like the machine or picture exchange, not really thinking touching and signing, but then I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remember, PECS is a specific type of way to do it, and it's very structured. Most of us don't do it the way it's supposed to be done anyways.
We do exchanging a picture.
We do exchanging a picture, unless you
trained.
Unless you have like another therapist working with you right there, it's really hard to do. Okay, guys. So Skinner screams and pulls mom's skirt. Mom then carries him. His therapist collects ABC data for 20 minutes each day, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. She analyzes the data and determines that the function of Skinner's screaming behavior is access to his mom. Okay, what are the options? Based on the ABC data, the therapist could implement a FCT. Based on the ABC data, the therapist should not implement FCT, or based on the ABC data, the therapist needs more information to determine if she should implement FCT or not. This one is tricky.
Sounds tricky, but
I say
A
C.
seems straightforward.
huh?
C as in cat.
C. C
Yeah,
as in
C.
cat? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Day, Monday, Tuesday.
Man, you were not tricked. I'm so proud of you. Good job, guys. So why is it C?
Because ABC data is not going to determine the function.
Yes. Exactly. And anyways, if let's say that you wanted to do, let's say that you would just do ABC data to determine the function, is she doing it correctly? Even
Well, it has to be a minimum of 20 minutes, right?
It's 20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Yes, yes. 20
The
to 30
only reason I chose C was because you need to do a functional analysis to determine the function. You can't do just ABC data. You need more.
Exactly. Nice job, guys.
Oh,
Okay.
baby.
Thank you.
Research favors PECS over computerized voice-operated communication device. True or false?
True.
I never heard this one before.
Research favors PECS over computerized voice-operated communication device. We already know what PECS are. We were talking about it, right? So it's the exchange and the other one. Does
I
anybody?
think it's true.
I know
I say
research
false.
favors PECS over sign language, but I don't know that research favors PEC over computerized voice operated. So I never heard this one.
I'll say false.
I say true. I'm just gonna give it to true.
Yeah.
It's false.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Because
favor
with the
PECS.
false, with text, never mind, go ahead.
I guess
Go ahead.
what I meant to say is not research favors, but it's easier to understand a picture exchange rather than sign language, because most people do not know sign language, but most, you can read a picture. I think that's what I meant. But yeah, I never heard favors PECS over voice operated. So false, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is one of those that you just have to memorize just in case they ask. And it's good to know. Research doesn't favor any method, any of these two methods. Okay, brain overload, better than empty brain. I don't know. That's what I just came up when I was doing this. I just looked at the questions and I was like, oh my God, so many of them.
Brain overload equal empty brain.
No, it's not. Okay, FCT stands for, that's so easy, functional communication tactics, functional communication training, functional communication training. Oh, fundamental communication training. Fundamental communication tactics.
Yes, and boy.
As in boy.
I think my brain.
Even you got confused.
Brain overload.
Brain overload. Functional communication training. We've been doing this so many times today that by the end, whoever didn't memorize it, they better know it.
Right.
Okay, FCT is a strategy that teaches individuals ways to functionally or appropriately communicate to compete with challenging behaviors evoked by MOs, EOs, AOs, or LOL.
Emo.
So,
B
B.
as in boy. B as in boy.
Oh yeah, B.
Another B. Okay, I think.
LOL.
I said,
Man.
LOL.
Okay, who wants to explain that one? That one I think requires a little bit of
Because when you use FCT, you want to increase communication. EO is establishing operation. MO meaning you gotta want it. AO is abolishing. LOL obviously it's not one
Okay.
of those terms.
So just for us to learn like test taking skills, why is it not MO? You just said that we need MO, right? So why is it not MO?
Is it because
So
EO
MO
is more
value.
a broader answer?
Yeah, MO is the umbrella. It's the umbrella which EO and AO falls under.
Uh-huh.
So it's the more specific answer.
Yes, exactly. So EO is the more specific answer. So remember, that is a key. When you have multiple choices, you gotta look for the one that is the most specific answer. I would get this type of questions wrong all the time in the mocks because I sort of knew, but then that means that you need to, if you see a pattern of you getting those wrong, in my opinion, I think that's because you need to study more in detail. It's because you sort of have an idea, but you need to go more in depth.
So I think this is where fine discrimination comes in.
Exactly.
Because you know MO or AO, you know, then but you know between MO and EO is the more
and also it's not just the knowledge, but also the other thing is that you need to don't stop there. Like you see MO, you're like, oh my god, yes, that's the answer. No, you need to keep on reading to see if there's something more specific. So I like this question. It has a lot of different things that we need to learn.
So I think to make this easier for people, can we just break down when to use MO versus when to use EO? You know, then that would help people to really understand it.
Yes, I think the book says it.
So MO, okay, so let's say if you are hungry. So if you are hungry, MO is present. You are going to engage in behavior.
I'm sorry. No, sorry to cut you off. But we always use that hungry, scenario. Can we use like functional communication, like, example? If you don't mind, please.
I don't think I have one for functional communication.
Okay.
Lara has a great video on MOs. She broke down MOs very, very well. So if you guys want, you can go on the YouTube channel and take a look at that. And she really broke it down.
Okay.
Sometimes I personally still struggle with, all of that. I know it by, definitional, but when it comes to breaking it down and application wise, it becomes a little cumbersome for me.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. That's why it means that we need to generalize it basically. But I forget the exact words that the book uses, but we know EO is when the behavior it's going to increase or decrease.
Increase.
So wouldn't the key word in this question be evoked then, if you're looking for EO versus AO?
No.
That's what I was thinking too.
The behavior is an operant behavior and not respondent.
Yeah, but still, you're saying like bringing a behavior about, like it's bringing on establishing motivating operator. It's not decreasing a motivating operator.
Because when you think of evoke or emit, they go with operant conditioning. Elicit go with respondent.
Yeah, that's what evoked is all about there. But I see where you're going at, but I wouldn't use that as something. I only use those words more to differentiate which one is operant and which one is respondent. But when we were going, let's explain it really quick. So EO is increasing or decreasing the behavior? It's going to increase. And AO, is it going to decrease or increase? is
Decrease.
Crazy behavior and also a big.
MO is the general term which it could either increase or decrease. That's the difference, guys.
Correct.
So when you're talking only about, when the scenario is talking about a behavior that is going to increase, then it's EO. When it's a behavior that's going to decrease, it's AO. In this case, in functional communication, then it would be, you know, you have more, you want more, okay, let me see. I want the cell phone. Let me explain it fast. I know this is not enough, but we're talking about it already. So I want the cell phone. So I have the MO to get it, which is basically the EO, because I want to get it. It's not that I don't want to get it. It's not going down. It's going up. So I want it. It's increasing. My wanting to get the cell phone is increasing. So since my wanting to get the cell phone is increasing, that's EO. And I'm going to teach, Maud is going to teach me cell phone. So, okay, Maud, go, teach it to me. So I'm,
Phone. What is that sound?
So you're using my EO, my.
So Jenny, in the example that you provide for the Skinner that was pulling the mom's skirt, that would be an EO for the therapist to teach a functional communication training to say like pick me up or.
Well, she's gonna use the EO that he has, that he has in that moment.
In that moment, yeah.
In that moment, he wants the mom's attention. That's
so he can either say mom or something.
Yes, mom.
Okay,
mom, exactly.
got it.
But guys, like Amy said, Lara has a really good video on MO. And I'm sorry I made those sounds. I don't know where it came from, you know.
I love them.
Next time I'll think of something nicer. Okay, FCT is a strategy that teaches individuals ways to functionally or appropriately communicate to compete with challenging behaviors evoked by EOs. In the above statement, the word evoked is referring to an operant behavior or respondent behavior. Somebody was talking about that one.
Operant.
Nice job. Nice job, guys. That one we just have to simply, basically memorize them. No going around it. Okay. Operant behavior, remember, elicited is respondent behavior, emitted and evoked is operant behavior. Okay, FCT is a way to execute blank training. Is it tact, man? Man. Yes. Oh my God, we're finished. We did so awesome. Good job, guys. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were gonna take forever. You know why we didn't take forever? Because you did it so fast. Your fluency is really good. So thank you so much. Throughout the week, we're gonna continue to talk about the similar topics. There's a lot that I didn't cover that I didn't have time, but it's gonna be covered in the other Zooms. Okay, guys? Okay.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Bye. Remember.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.